Hello everyone, welcome to ITeLearn. This is Karthik. Hope you all doing well. Thank you so much for joining in for this webinar. And as the title suggests, we're pretty much focused on how we want to do, how we want to build a career of getting work from home opportunities in QA, and how you could apply for some of the current existing options that we have, and what are the different steps to get on there. So that's what we're going to talk a lot about. Now, in our presentation, what I've created is just a few slides to talk about 3-4 things that are very critical for you to understand why we are in this work from home opportunities. Then we're going to look at specifically how and who we are choosing, what are the eligibilities, opportunities, criteria, and process to apply. So pretty simple. We're going to go forward with that. Before I move forward, team, there are a couple of poll questions that I really want to answer to know more about each of you. Can I get to know where the audience is joining from? So on your screen is a poll that you can click on and respond back. Choose the option of your country, continent, or geography of response, please. I'm going to pause the recording. And here are the results. Can you see the results on your screen, team? So this is what you all filled, which country do you reside. 65% US, Canada, 30 of you India or South Asia. We have Australia, New Zealand, and other countries as well. Thank you so much for participating. A lot of members here, so that's really good to know, team. I also wanted to know where you are in your IT career, team. This is the second poll question on your screen. Depending on where you position through your career, we want to talk about how we get you there. Because end of the day, it is skill and a project. So you have the right skill and we have the right project, then everything is perfect. And the journey from going from absolute beginner in IT all the way to an IT expert is all about the number of projects we participate in, team. How many projects did we do? What kind of an exposure do we have? Can I have everyone kindly complete it? I've got about 82% votes. Thank you, team, for participating. Really good to see 80, 90%, 95% votes coming in 96. That shows a lot of involvement, team. And I see over 140 members joining this webinar. Thank you, really appreciate that. I'm going to close and share this. There you go, team. So beginners and expert, 8%, 14%. But most of you are, if I look at the second and third category, some IT trained but not getting the jobs. So we are there, the 38%, and 40% are working in IT. So it is very safe to assume that half of you are working in IT, half of you are trying to get there. So if half of the audience is already working in IT, why are you looking at this first option, team? That becomes very critical, right? So we'll come to looking at that too. Let's see. I have a few more. I'm sure this is an easy question for you all. It's just a yes or no. Do you have work from home job experience? And when I say not, just 1 or 2 days when sick trying to work from home concept, team, but really work from home. And we're gonna build a checklist of what we collectively think is the discipline to become very successful in it. Believe me, team, it took me at least maybe 25, 30 days of different sitting of work from home to become very disciplined. One of the biggest drawbacks for working from home is the fact that you're not visible, you're not physically seen. Only your work is shown, maybe your voice or emails or your chat is heard. So you have to be very proactive in that direction. I'm going to close this polls as well, team. This poll as well. Close, share. Really good to know that at least half of you have some kind of experience, and that brings relevant to build this program. Okay, I'm going to hide this, team. And let me do a couple more polls. We're going to the direction, so we'll look at it. This will help us. Okay, this is a nice answers, team. It kind of gives us perspective of why we're looking at these work from home opportunities. Can you kindly participate in the last one? Why are you seeking work from home job? What is the primary driving reason? Is it a necessity or to earn a second income? You cannot move out physically because of a lot of constraints that we may face. Some people want to work from home to get the experience before they can go to a real job. If it is easy to start for them, yeah. All the above is also there. So I think it can be collective, but I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, it is your call, team. You gotta tell us what you think. Almost there, 85% of you have voted in. Just get your votes in on the screen there. Click on your selection team and submit. I'm going to close this quickly. 90% votes in. That's nice. Thank you. And share the results. There you go. So I think majority of you are looking at experience or the fact that physically unable to move out. And 30% of you saying all of them contribute to it. So thank you so much, team. Really appreciate it. Let's continue with our session. I'm back to my screen and hopefully we should be able to move quickly through the slides and focus a lot on what we have at hand, team. Okay, I'm not a very PowerPoint guy. I'd love to keep it to something that is more relevant. Okay, team, so we've got some kind of a template here. I put some notes for most of our discussion. Let's talk about one by one and the relevance of what we are talking. Then we'll come to talking about why we have got these opportunities and how we can fill them. So team, this is very important. Work from home is a discipline because we are collectively going to the client as a team and we represent a very strong workforce globally who can execute projects, especially in the world of software testing and automation. So when we go and represent ourselves, we want the client to understand that we will take care of the project in an extremely disciplined way. And to be able to achieve this, we have put together an amazing training team. A one-day training that we will go through. When I say one-day training team, a lot of these are 5-6 hours trainings. It's not like a typical training where we teach and you are listening. It is going to be more like a workshop. Okay, and this will set you very, very correctly. What kind of system hardwares you require? How do you communicate and chat? How do you set your calendar, alarms, out of office? How do you ensure that if you need to come on webcam, is your background decent enough? Do you have a normal, regular place to sit down without disturbance? How's your mic, headset, everything notes? How well are we prepared? What are the necessary things that we do? What are the different tools that we have that will help us to work from home as a discipline? All right. So that's one focus theme. Second point in the same region is the fact that these are very committed projects and engagements team. So we want commitment from you. You cannot quit midway because we will have to introduce you to the customer. Are you all able to hear me okay? My audio okay, right, team? Okay, great, thank you. So we need to introduce you to the customer, sometimes get you the customer email accounts, access to the virtual machines or networks or servers. So we may also have to do a little background check on your regular social security and so on. Some of these are short projects, so they're quick bursts. Some can be in 2 weeks to 2 months, but typically most of the projects we expect them to be at least 2 to 6 months. We don't know yet. Multiple projects team, and that's why I'm reaching out at once to all of you. So you have to keep this going. When I say luxury of working from anywhere is there with your required skills. Let us say we're already selected. Now you take your laptop. If you have to go to a remote town, no problem. Put your 4G on, start working. Wherever you go, it is more of work from anywhere than work from home. It could be a co-working space. It could be a park, a coffee shop. It could be your home. But how are you doing it? I'm emphasizing a lot on this team because this is the future. This is the future of work. This is the great start that we can get exposed and introduced to. Okay, great. Now, when I'm saying luxury of working from anywhere, so you typically will work for 10 to 40 hours per week team. Okay, 40 hours is typical, 8 hours per day, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, 2016 hours a year. Okay, that's how we calculate. Now, if you're working for 40 hours a week, it's a full-time job. Anything lesser like 10 hours, 15, 20, sometimes even 30 could be part-time. So you could be someone who's doing this as a part-time, or it could be part-time, but the only job you're doing. I'm still on the second point, team. So you have to continue wherever you are. All right. And you cannot be in a very immature, kiddish manner. Hey, no, I don't have internet. Hey, I have this problem. Keep it to yourself, team. Either you're working or you're not working. Things will move very, very fast. The clients love what we are bringing to them. Speed of getting a project started, ensuring the project will keep getting executed, even people coming and going. So we have to take quick action. So remember this, team. Cannot quit midway. You can reduce. This week only work 10 hours, next week do 30 hours. Spend over a weekend, try and finish things up. This is how we catch up. Now let's look at the next point. Very critical, team. Everything is critical, but I thought I'll get them at least written. If you're a specialist, what I mean is if you're already working, half of you mentioned that you're already working in a full-time job, and this could be a great part-time job, a second income, a passive income. Absolutely, you're welcome, team. We really want you to take this very, very seriously and how we can build. Maybe we don't start big. Maybe we'll start with $10 per hour only, okay, as a billing to start with. But then as you keep going direct, we will get there. There is a concept I'll explain, team. I'm sure a lot of you will understand why and how we're building this. You're basically understanding the structure of work from home, correct? Now let's imagine a client. All right, let's assume a client in US. Okay, this is the client factory. Now, this is all the way in the US. And let us imagine there is a tier 1 vendor, okay, who is primarily got it across. They have a shop here, okay, and they have a shop here. When I say shop here, I'm referring to offshore development teams. Are you all getting what I'm saying? Now, this is in US and this is in India, for example. So what does that mean? They have an on-site team here and they have an offshore team here, correct? Now this offshore team, let's talk about companies like the top 10 Indian IT organizations, okay? All of these are picked from colleges or campuses or competitors or from the market and so on, correct? And then they come under a large management team and they become a pyramid. Remember this pyramid structure in an IT org team. So there's the top performing or management, very few of them. Then there's a middle layer of lot of staff, and there's a large layer of freshers in the back end. Okay. Now, when these freshers are getting applied and they're working on projects team, it'll take time for the client to build expectation or trust. Remember this word, trust and relationship with this candidate. So client is here in the US, candidate is here offshore, just a starter fresher. May not be the best opportunity for them to get started. This is year 0, but there will be year 1, year 2. Second year end, after 24 months, the client has good belief. Now the client and this candidate are able to work directly very much together. They don't need any more of this on-site management or coordination. They're able to communicate directly over Skype and emails and calls. They don't need an offshore leadership to be able to manage. So we can get rid of these layers. The client here is paying $100 per hour. Okay. By the time it hits the pocket of this fresher who's now got 2 years experience, it is coming to $5 per hour as a salary into the pocket. So there's a lot that's going away, all right? And that is going just for insurance team, protection. The job is the same. Finally, they have to develop the web pages or the application or fix a ticket or test that on a mobile device. Whatever they have to do, they have to still do it, okay? But I don't need an entire layer or entire team. I can work directly. So a lot of directly client to candidate interactions become critical. Okay. So far we've seen a lot of outsourcing or IT growth, which led to countries like India, Middle East, South Asia, a lot of these countries to grow and deliver projects, is basically because of the structure where they're on-site salespeople, they got the projects. So a lot of the structures happen. How can we go direct? Now, team, how many of you are aware of the concept called Uberization? Do you all know what is Uber? You can take a screenshot of this, team, just to show you that we are trying to get to a little rebelling stage. I'm going to erase this and draw a new one. What is Uber, team? What does it do? What is Uberization? What is Uber? Uber, you know, drives you around. What is Uber? A marketplace where there are car owners and passengers. We are able to connect them swiftly with saving time and money, and the passenger is able to go pick up the, oh sorry, the car owner is able to act like a cab rider, pick up the passenger, drop them wherever they want, and save them dollars. Very simple, team. I'm one of the best use cases for it. For me, LAX to home, my airport to home in LA, typically used to cost me $95 to $100 when I used to take a regular cab. This is 2005, 6, 7, 8, and so on. And then I started driving my own car, parking it near parking lots, and then going on. So a phenomenal revolution happened when Uber came. So a cab where I was spending 45 minutes waiting and paying $90, okay, came down to an app which was doing the same in 5 minutes, and believe me, $45, they halved it. Now, the cab company has been making a lot of money, a lot of layers, a lot of management, and then there's driver, there's a cab company. Here, Uber is acting like a technology layer. So the concept of taking something that has been working and exploiting a lot in the market and giving it a fresh and newer look, more efficient one where the users feel, okay, there's value for money, time, service, everything, is become a concept called Uberization, where we are taking things and creating marketplaces around that. Other concepts of Uberizations are like Airbnb. What else are there in Uberization? Where you create a platform for others to come and keep looking at. One of the very prominent is Odesk.com. Was a freelance website team, which became Upwork. So I've been a customer, a paying customer of Odesk, where I used to search for freelancers here for a long time. My biggest challenge was, I think I should be able to log in also, but it's fine for now, is how to find the right candidate. I apply, I get 100 posts. So there are a lot of challenges we understand. So how do things like these work? Now, to keep these things relevant, we've built QA on it. We've been planning this for about 4 years. Do note, team, we've just tried to get this back up and running. I'm going to quickly walk on how this is going to work, because a lot of what you do, your applications will go in here. Can I use a different color to draw? Sure, Sri, I'll do that next time. And there's another question. Where can I send yes or no when asking question? Sure, Prakriti, you can do it in the same way you ask the question. In the question and answer, you can interact back and put your answer while going. All right, now let's talk about QA on it. We're talking about, I've not yet spoken about ITeLearn team, so little going here and there on the schedule, on the agenda, but we're covering things. Great. All right, so what is QA on air? As the word suggests, it's primarily how do I offer quality assurance services over air. All right, the strongest belief came from, if I have a good team, QA team available for me on air, remote, then I could manage, do a quality work at a very, very highly efficient cost and amazing speed, because we can deliver things fast. In today's world, team, remember the challenges. On-site US opportunities, if you're looking for permanent hire, for FTE or full-time employee in the market, it'll take an organization about 2 months to get you on board. Why does it take 2 months, team? because they have to first give it to HR, put an ad, do the interviews, give you an offer letter. You will take a month to join, run the background check and all this, right? When they give it to vendors as a consultant, all right, they would take about 2 weeks to 4 weeks. All right. Now, I'm sorry, team. They're going to take 2 to 4 weeks. So this may cost them, let's say, 150K a year overall cost to company team, not the package to you. Your package may be only 120, but the taxes, medical benefits, cost of seats, all this apply, right? And then if we are able to do something like QA on air, we have a network. We already have the people aligned to it. You put a job here, start getting applications. You can get started in 2 to 4 hours. And that's a great advantage with such platforms like Upwork, which is across all skills, or QA on air. And there are a dozen sites which are doing such things on software testing. The main reason we are connecting is because of ITeLearn and being associated on the matter of software test automation tools specifically. Okay, so we're going to come to that. Okay, so that was the intent. With this, what we did is very simple, team. I can either hire a freelancer as a client, or I can apply to become a freelancer. So my application process, oh, I don't know why this is broken. That's cool. I'm not sure if anyone from ITeLearn team, even the inner one is broken. Ashna, you there? How come nothing is working? Oh, that's not good. Everything is down. There was a server down about 2 days back, team, QA on air. And then the tech team did fix it, but I don't know why it's broken up. Okay, I've got a lot.
Sorry, yesterday we fixed it 7 to 8 times. I don't know why.
Hi, Sheetal. Okay.
Hi, sure.
Yeah, no problem. So I've got little content on the main page, but none of the members can apply, and that's a challenge. But that's fine. Okay, let's look at this thing. So we can hire a freelancer. So basically, if I'm a client, I can go put in a project here with the details. And if you're a freelancer, you can register. So the advantage of how the clients go about, they can try before hire. For a week or two, they can see how you're performing. Work from home ethics, discipline, skill, subject, domain, how quickly are you able to interact with the global team, your timing, availability, all these things. So quick ramp up, ramp down, how quickly we can build team and get it down. One of the most important things of QA platform is while it is all online, every applicant, once you register here, we will screen you before you start being able to work on projects. We want to know who you are, so there's a certain confidence that is going to the customer. So for a freelancer, it is pretty straightforward, team. This could be for a fresher or someone who's already seasoned working, looking for a second job in QA. We have opportunities for all team. We have opportunities for leads, program managers. We have multiple opportunities coming our way. The speed at which we close them is success for all of us. All right. 1 second, team. All right, sorry. So how do you work from home? How do you work direct? Kill layers, earn more income. Maybe you can quit and just do a 20, 30 hours, very relaxed working lifestyle. It's a dream for a lot of people, team. We're not in a crazy hunt for making millions right now. We just want a steady stream of income that is given based on what skills we got trained on and what we're working on. So how does it work? Like I said, there are jobs, there are profiles. You could put them on in here and you can start looking at it. I'm gonna walk you through some of these things. Now, let me go back to the PowerPoint where I had a few more things mentioned. All right, just highlight. Okay, we got that. If you're a beginner trainee, then amazing opportunity, team. Why? Number one, to get experience. Let's not focus on getting paid so much. We will try our best to get you. It's very simple, team. I'll tell you. Okay, let us say I'm getting $20 from the customer and we're paying out $16 away to the consultant and keeping $4 as margin. Let's assume that. The client is accepting someone at $16 is not because they can also pay $50 per hour for on-site, but they want the right person So $50 or $15 does not matter for the end customer who's going to be working with you, the technical person. They want the right person. So even if you're coming at $5, I have to present you as a valuable contributor to the team, because they don't want to sit and manage and train. Okay, so focus on getting experience. This is very critical, team. This is what we are really relying on. And yes, we can start low jobs, we can go higher, and a lot of times it is about how hard we're working through these times, team. But again, it is packaging them together, so we'll work on them. But what we're saying is, if you're experienced, great, look at building something for a long run. If you're beginning, great, start building your profile portfolio, start doing a few projects, get them onto there. Okay, I'm coming to your questions in chat. There are a few things coming up. Let me finish this and get there. Special welcome to JPACT members. Thank you so much, team, for believing in us and going forward. I definitely want to give you all the priority for these opportunities. JPACT is a job placement and certified training. A couple of slides are there on that too. Let me see if I've already opened the website. I hope JPACT is not down. All right. So primarily, team, it is our largest program that we offer at ITeLearn.com. I'm sure you all are aware of ITeLearn. We've been there for 10 years, team, teaching software testing, especially QTP, Selenium, automation frameworks. We've done a lot of, how do I say, development in this zone. We're talking consistently about how we can build practice on software testing and automation. And one of the tools that we proudly launched along with ITeLearn students is AnyAUT. Someday we'll talk a lot about AnyAUT team, but I would definitely request you all to go and watch this short 5 minutes video. It'll give you an idea of what this tool does. I'm going to put some of these links there. I'm sorry. ITeLearn, you already have it. QA on air, I think you already have these. I'm going to put that. Okay, I've got that. Let's go back to JPACT. So what is JPACT? So as part of ITeLearn training, most of you would have been exposed to our core training. Our core training is basically taking a skill like Java or Selenium or QTP or anything relevant to your job like ISTQB or database testing and learning it. What JPACT does is, once we finish you with your core training, we take you through projects and certifications. It's very critical to showcase them. Then we do a lot of finishing and grooming. How are you very effective? Attitude, aptitude, logical, analytical thinking. How do you present yourself? How do you dress? How do you talk? How do you walk? Very critical, team. You cannot ignore these things. I've been in the IT industry luckily for 20 years. But very early in the first 2-3 years, I could get the exposure to how clients want us to work. And that's how we could survive this far. A lot of that experience from myself and my co-trainers and a lot of our technical panel members we're trying to put in here. Job placement and work support. Your resume building, going for interviews, taking calls. How do you do your mocks? How do you do your presentations? How do you come across and join the opportunity? Once you're there on the project, how do you get support? So that's what JPACT as a program does. So irrelevant of you're doing an SDET, like a software development engineering test, or an automation training or manual testing or Java developer, that all comes under core training. What you will be doing in JPACT is going through the entire thing. So a lot of people who have taken a break in their career, coming back or first time into IT, prefer JPACT. So that's something that you can look at, team. AnyAUT, as I was telling you, is an automation testing tool that we've built over Selenium. It is amazing the way it is structured, team. A lot of features. Watch the demo, you will get a good idea. It basically has a good web UI. We build a lot of backend engine, a lot of framework concepts. Executions are done on desktop on multiple browsers, and we get a good report at the end to look at. Simple description of what AnyAUT does. Now, to build this tool, we needed a lot of development effort, team. So we built 2 certifications as part of it. AnyAUT certified tester, someone who knows how to go into AnyAUT and start, working. Which one was I using? I don't know if this is there. And log in, look at the dashboard, look at how things are. How do we write test cases? How do we write steps? How do we run, execute this entire? Someone who knows to operate this. This is just like, in a simple terms, not exactly the same. Like, let's say, a test management tool like HP ALM, or sometimes in certain cases like Trello or Jira, where you have everything created into user stories. All right. So for this, the certified tester knows how to use the application and build tests. A certified developer is very strong on programming and frameworks and can sit down and update or change these things. So team, a lot of the current job opportunities that we have are revolved around 2 or 3 things. One is software testing. It could be manual testing, mobile app testing, regression testing, performance testing, whatever. So a lot of software testing. Two, a lot of them are built on tools like AnyAUT. So sorry, I went on mute. I'm back now. So like AnyAUT, so your understanding of automation tools like Selenium and frameworks becomes critical. Then there are projects which are very specific on mobile app testing and device-based testing and so on, where you have to actually test it on your devices. If you have an Android, great. If you have an iOS, great. This discussion is to get you acquainted as to where we are going. And once we shortlist the team as you're getting into the group, we will coordinate and have the works done directly with you. All right, team. So JPACT members, great journey. Thank you for going through this process. I'm sure you're getting well trained and groomed. Let us now put this into an execution team. Let me go back to my slides. And Sheetal, you asked me to refresh the slides also. I'll do that. Okay. Now let me breeze through the slides. A lot we've spoken about. These are the key points. I spent significant time on that team. I want to spend a lot of time specifically on your Q&A. So we'll look at that. ITeLearn, good thing is we have got online e-learning. So most of you will get exposed to how you can learn from home. While we have in-class and digital classrooms, this is all about learning from home. Anyone within Los Angeles or Hyderabad can approach us to be able to possibly work directly, either in LA, or I could also talk at Chicago, but not yet, or Hyderabad. Anyone in person there, contact our team with details. You could be someone who could work closer with us during these projects. All right, great. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, what do we do primarily, team, in ITeLearn from a training? I'll only spend 30 seconds. A lot of concepts. So we don't talk about definition. We arrive them through practice and projects. Our focus has always been on how we give you project perspective and how we give you self-discovery rather than spoon feeding you or putting you to the grind. We really make you empowered, team. That's what we do. A lot of hands-on. We're absolutely about coding. We love coding. I love coding. I love to build frameworks. So how do we get that things moving? That's something we can look at. Okay, cool. Let's look at the next one. JPACT, I spoke briefly. It's a master program. It's a lot of combinations. If you're someone who's looking at an overall career, JPACT is a great bet, team, because it's a journey. Some people need 3 months plus. JPACT will support you for a year plus. Okay, so core challenges, I'm not going to talk about. So these are the core challenges of what we face. Gap between what you have in your resume and industry. You don't know what's happening across the world. You need to be guided correctly. You need the right kind of projects and work experience. If you're going to work on stupid project, and very simple, you go to the customer and interview, and they'll ask you, hey, Karthik, what did you do in this project? And you say, you should also feel excited to talk about it, right? You should not feel in the interview that, yeah, I just did that's a stupid twice, simple one. I just had to be there, run tests every day. Believe me, team, I don't know how many of you are actually in the software testing world for at least 2-3 years. It becomes very redundant, not redundant, boring. You're going to wake up, go there and run the same test, very little exposure you would get. So these kind of programs will take you back there. We spoke about JPACT briefly, team. Like I said, a lot of focus that we do is on testing, Selenium, SDET, and of course, frameworks. Certifications, live projects, I briefly talked about. Finishing and grooming also I touched upon team, so I won't have to go through big. Job placement, work support, resume preparations, all the way. The keywords that you're seeing here is something that we have to go through at length. That's as part of whatever we do, but right now we have opportunities. So in your certified tester and developer, I spoke briefly. One knows how to go and build these tests. One knows how to build this framework to execute these tests. I'll come to the questions in your Q&A team. So let me finish through this. I spoke briefly about Q&A. Thank you so much for this nice slides. Yes, we are at Q&A, but there's something I wanted to show before I go there. I missed out on something. Which one did I miss out? Yes, all my documentation. So team, let me also talk about what we're doing. So all that we're doing here, we're kind of putting it together. I'm also gonna add a new sheet in here. I'm going to talk about team members. So Ashna and team, I'll have one of the team members coordinate with me, team, because my QA team is totally packed. They're working almost 12, 13 hours a day. So I can't get them to be technically involved. I will be involved in this project, but I need someone to coordinate this for me. So hopefully from our team or one of us within the team will volunteer. So a lot of roles are there. Let's look at these job requirements that we have. There is a job mailer that we have this weekend in Hyderabad team. Multiple different roles that are presented here. So if anything is interesting and you're there, then you look at it. Okay, going to the office. Let's talk about these team, and we'll spend 4 or 5 minutes on these opportunities. I'm going to talk about what these are and how they're relevant to what we're doing. All right, great. Project. We're going to talk about the projects related to this. Okay, manual QA AnyAUT certified testers. Wow, okay, there are 2 clients, one US and one Australia. The US client has actually 2 ongoing projects, team. These are all on AnyAUT. And one Australia, this is again, all roles are offshore. They've come and given us these positions for offshore, like Hyderabad. And I'm trying to find my best resources and do it. But some of these I can do remote. So even if you're in the US or you're in India, does not matter. We know what we're getting from the customer, what we could pay for this for the right person. If you can spend sufficient time remotely and do it, then that's fine. We are very used to working from home, team, as an organization. Workasa, our main company, we're very used to be working from home. So when I say I can do remote, you can do remote. So most of them. That's how the discussion has come. So far, I've been only trying to staff within Hyderabad. Then I've started to expand. So team, in here, a lot of manual testing is required. There is one skill, you need to be AnyAUT certified tester. And you can do that for free. Just go to AnyAUT.com. On the home page, you will see AnyAUT certified tester 7 hours free training here, team. If you go through this, you will understand a lot about AnyAUT certified tester, and that's sufficient for you to start working on them. So if you can complete this at your end, and that will really be helpful for us. Where am I? I was writing it somewhere in here. Yes. So you need to know AnyAUT certified, AnyAUT team. What is AnyAUT? How do you write test cases and so on? Very simple. If you don't know, then do it quickly. It's not that hard. Where is word wrap, text wrapping? Okay. Now, qualifications I told. See, visa and other regulations are not very bothered for work from home opportunities. So anything is fine, work from home. And do remember, payment can be done in India or in US. So even if it's another country, we could do a PayPal and so on. Just to let you know, QA on Air is set up in such a way that once you register as a freelancer and you put your details of how much you expect per hour, and you can bill it directly from here, and the account that you link during your registration, your bank account, you will get paid there. So this is a completely working platform. We've been just taking some of these projects offline, but it's a complete working platform. All right, team, I'm going to quickly come to Q&A. I think we are there. Here. Okay, so that's that. A mobile app test is this divided across 3 sectors. All right. First is North, Central, East, US. We're looking at 4 in each sector: iOS and Android. If you don't have both the phones, that is fine. If you can do it on both the phones, that is great. Actual device-based app testing. We're doing a lot of performance, API, security testing with a very, how do I say, skilled and large team in India. Right? From Bangalore, there's a team which is working very hard in doing the other part. But the actual device-based testing, not simulations and emulations, we cannot do it. So this is going to start from US 3 regions and then spread to Central/South America. And they also want Australia, New Zealand as the next sector, and UK, Europe. So let us say you start in US. You may not be there while the UK Europe sector is happening. But since you already built so much expertise on the application, you know this app very well, you could be leading. I'm looking at a single point of contact or a mobile app testing lead to coordinate these 12 remote mobile app testers. Right? So this is a big project. Now, even if you don't have no skill, no worries, we will do a 1-day training. And team, when I'm saying all this, I really want JPACT members to take advantage of this. If you are a JPACT member and you're not applying for this position, someone will apply, I will have to assign it to them, and then you come back after 2 weeks, I may not have the opportunity. So please work aggressively on this, team. Selenium automation developers, we need a lot of these, team. Basically, we're looking at Java, frameworks, mad about frameworks. You should know CI/CD tools like Maven, Jenkins, how to do basic things. And someone's got 2 years is fine. I'm looking at building frameworks similar to AnyAUT for 3 to 4 US based. Most of them are US based customers. So they want white label AnyAUT. How do I say this? I'm just talking about this. See, when we launch AnyAUT, right? Typically, I'll show you for a moment. I'm not showing anything confidential. Typical AnyAUT, let's see, how does it look? I don't know if this is working, but basically in AnyAUT, when you so this is how it looked, team. Okay, this is our tool. So all the things that we do in the desktop, in the front end here on the application, then we export that into an Excel, launch the desktop application, select that Excel, execute it, and it will run the entire thing. So this is our product. But now what we're doing is, in fact, me and a lot of team members are sitting down and we're creating white label products. So we don't show AnyAUT, we go and implement it at a customer, put their logo and customize it for them. So a lot of these are coming up. AnyAUT is a very nice, simple, standard framework. We need to take this into the next level. And team, I hope to do a lot of weekend and 1-day trainings to get through recruitment, because I cannot afford not to fill these positions. I must fill them. The clients are depending on totally on us. So if we cannot fill them in the next 1 week, of course they will look at other options, but till then we have the time. Okay, so that's good. Okay, HP QTP 910, some old clients still using, they want to stay with QTP. It's not even UFQTP, remember. So we need resources. Very simple. 0 years, no problem. We will train you for 45 days. Full-time training team, 8 hours a day. You will become an expert, there's no question. 3 to 4 hours training, then 3 to 4 hours project. Okay, can we do this remotely out of Hyderabad? I'll try, but a lot of this could be Hyderabad based, but we are convincing the client to do this as these are not 7, there are 14 in this actually. Oh no, there's 7 only. I think there are 9. That's fine, you know, I'm not going to look at that. Oh wow, cloud, AWS, yes. So web service testers, AWS, cloud, these are the upcoming skills team. So if you are someone who's got experience, expertise in this, then please start applying. We're specifically talking about experienced professionals, because I have focused a lot on Selenium, functional regression automation testing, frameworks, and so on. So I've really not gone to web services, API, or cloud-based solution testings. When it's a cloud, I'm talking more of how do we do the latest ones. So if we have experienced professionals, then we can create a great remote team for the end-to-end. So the way we need to represent is, a lot of my meetings are aligned team this week, next week, and I'm going and representing all of you. Once I get some of the experts along with me, which I always take depending on the tool and technology, I can start putting you there. Performance test engineers, lot, and especially right now, if we have mobile app testing and load runner performance testing, then that would be great. Java developers, plenty of them. Team, 1 month full time, you can do Java core developer. There's no question. It is just matter of, is it your thing or not? So just to get through a job, to get some money, it may be interesting to start, but it is intense. Team development is not an easy thing. But if you want to be in automation testing, you need to do a lot of this. If not, we'll have to wait and find jobs which are like mobile app testing, web services, backend testing, as they keep coming. Okay. All right, team, SDET, and then I'll come to SDET. What is SDET? Everyone should know in this session. Software development engineer in test. Okay. A lot of shift and so on is happening, shift left concepts. There's also shift right happening, where developers are trying to get into testing. So SDETs are primarily, again, experienced people. If you're in a development team, if you're someone who spent, let us say, 2 years, 3 years in Java, C#, Python, or anything as a developer, then talk to us on how we can transfer you or transition you into an SDET and get some good roles in software testing. So team, primarily, that's what I had to discuss and get started. What are the next steps I'll talk about, but let me start taking questions. Anyone having questions that previously have been put forward but not answered, please put them again. It'll be tough for me to scroll backwards and look at the questions. Kindly take a minute, copy back your question and put it back again, team. Questions, kindly put it in the chat, everyone. I'm going to look at it. There may be a poll or two that I will run while this is happening. And team, do note your poll questions or answers are not visible to us. I mean, who's answering what to others, but you can see overall as a group how we have answered, how we performed. So one poll question while you're putting your questions in the chat, please. Can already working H1B employee work without any issues? I've got nothing to do with your visa status. I got nothing to do with your location team. I got only 2 or 3 things. One is your skill. Second is your discipline of work from home. These 2 are critical for us. I also launched a poll team. Request everyone to look into it. I'm going for more futuristic jobs team. It will go beyond work visas. We are technology professionals. We can do work from anywhere. How can we apply? As apply as freelancer is not running. I tried it yesterday as well. Sure. One thing for sure, we're going to look at all the almost 200 plus attendees right now to look at that sheet and go through them one by one, understand who's attended, what you've come through. At least that sheet we have, team. We will put that into QA on it. Once it's up, we'll write back to you. We'll be in touch, team. All of you as a group will be communicating to you. I mean to ask, as it is healthcare or banking, financial, etc. Okay, sure. I can't disclose the names in a lot of details, team. Let's talk about varied. There is healthcare, there's governmental organizations, there is healthcare again, and there's university. So it is varied. This is not one project, this is multiple, 5-6 projects in your team. Can we see all the latest project once the site is up? Sure. Vasanthi, what I'm doing is I'm not taking all these requirements and putting it on QA on air. For me, this is good. We will also put it on QA on air. So once I get the selected team, we'll start operating for the payment through QA on air. How do we apply for these kind of positions? Yes, once the website is up, you'll apply on QA on it. We will reach out to you. You will answer the questions as we ask and look at which ones you're applying for or you're interested in, and we can go through that. Are all QTP jobs only meant for Hyderabad? For now, yes, but I think we should be able to convince the client for some jobs work from home. See, here is the problem of we people who live in US and want work from home opportunities. If you want work from home opportunities in US, the payment terms can be very less unless you're experienced, you went and you worked in the client's office for a while, built that trust and relationship, and they have asked you, okay, go back, continue to work at that $50 per hour from home. That's great, that's brilliant, that's where we should get it. But these jobs which are paying for offshore, now if I have to come and get it paid here, will be very little. So if you're ready to participate in it, we can convince the client that yes, the candidate is pretty good, is in US or wherever, is ready to work for X amount of dollars. Is that fine? So we will represent that. Yes, team, very important. One more thing is your resumes. I need profiles from everyone. So what are the things that I require? Let's start writing. One is your CV, not your CV, your detailed resume. Actually, it's a CV. As is fine. Okay, 2, preferences on which role. 3, apply on QA on air.com. 4, most positions may get closed by mid of next week. Most positions team. And we'll hopefully keep getting the 1-day specific trainings, both from work from home and the skill and the project also, because we need to get you up on project status. Project trainings, will get started towards.
Hi Karthik, we're not able to see the screen.
Oh, sorry. Is it still on poll? I'm sorry. Thank you. I think I need to close the poll. Close the poll. Share the result. There you go, team. So, how good are you in QA manual testing skills? We're not even talking jobs. So, I got 71% good. That's great. 21% moderate. 8% no knowledge. So, no problem, team. Join the wagon in terms of learning. We'll get there in 2-3 months. So, very proud. 92% of you pretty confident. So, that's good for us, team. That's really good. It talks a lot. Let me share the screen. Hide this. Sorry. So this is important thing. Then we need to build and share with the client. Okay, I'm going to work you through that. You need to be very patient and instruction based. I am a very keen observer personally, team. I will observe everything. How you wrote what question in chat, is your English correct? Is your question right? Is your grammar right? Even if I see that you don't write it correctly there, I may not feel confident to take you to the customer, believe in that. So be very conscious, be very focused, think, and involve into it. Listen to my instructions very clearly, please. Okay, let me look at other questions as we keep going. I'm going to take a few more questions and I think we'll be good for the day. Will I get W2 for my earnings if I'm selected? I think anything over $500 is something you'll have to do at 1099. And so that is your responsibility with your country of residence. Okay, we will make the payment, but you will have to look at your country of residence, look at the how much should you file and so on. It should be pretty simple. It should not be challenging. Wait, can we see all the latest? Okay, how to apply? I'm already interested. Thank you. Hi, Karthik. Since this is all about of timing and fastness of the delivery to the end client. Yes, that's right. Praveen, I didn't know if you. And I'm based out of Mumbai. Can I do the coordination with your Hyderabad team? Absolutely, yes, team. We have to build an army of QA professionals who can work from home. I'm aiming for at least 45 people to be onboarded working from home, not from the office, by end of this year, team. And let's increase that to 200, 300 by end of next year. That should be a great team to go and say that, hey, we are capable to do projects. We can do it. We are a team like that. So yes, Praveen, you should involve if you've got expertise, if you can coordinate with the team on some of the projects, great. For Selenium, is it mandatory 2 years experience? Nothing is mandatory. If you don't have, we will prepare you. So, but the fact is, how do we get started? So, team, it's very simple. Either you're going to training from here, or you're coming and joining one of the live projects that we're going, or into the QA on air for the paid projects. One of these. I'm already working, so can I take part time? Absolutely, yes. If you're working already and want to do it part time, like I mentioned, totally fine. Last few questions, team, and then we'll end it. Is this website exclusively for your team? Yes, this is exclusive for our team, but it is open for to do a project, any consultant. You can be independent of our team. Will there be an interview for us? Yes. There may not be a detailed interview, a brief interview to get the idea of what skills. Then we'll try you on the project. We'll start involving, seeing how you will react and develop. And within a week, every role will get confirmed. That way, we know who's working hard. Myself and colleagues are eager to work who are 10 years plus experience. Do we need to go through job interview one by one? No, not really. Like I said, it's not going to be such a big interview. There's going to be maybe a 20 minutes interview followed by 4 to 5 days or 1 week of work from home to showcase how you're working in the team, and then we'll start building. Will you accept current Selenium live training student for Selenium tester job? Absolutely, yes. And team, I need to get to my training. There are hundreds of questions, and I don't think I'll be able to get through all of them. Literally hundreds of them. Let me see which one. I'm definitely gonna try and keep up with responding them. Team, we need to make this Q&A and share. The team did make a FAQ. I didn't see it yet. So can we add more to this Q&A team and share it with the audience? Ashna team. So this, I think I can share at least this link. You can view, copy link. I'm gonna put it here. So team, click on the Google Drive. Some of the questions are here. Then I have like 100 questions in the chat, literally 100 questions team. So let me show you. You can't see this chat, right? How do I make this? Okay, there you go. This is still coming. So lot of questions, team. We're going to collect all these questions and start putting them into this sheet, consolidate, so you can look at answers on this sheet. Many of you are already logging in and taking a look. It is edit only, sorry, it's view only, team. So we will do I'm not giving the edit access, but questions, let it come to us. We'll keep answering here. All right. What are the next steps? Get your resume ready. Talk about which role you want to get into, what times you want to work, which role, timings, location, hardware. When I say hardware, what do you have as a system, laptop, devices, all the devices that you have, Windows, Mac, so on. All right, team. So we have a plan set together. Thank you so much for joining in. All I'll request you all to do is make sure that we get yourself organized into groups and batches and put you correctly. So a lot of effort is there at our end. We're going to try our level best to make this happen. Let's dream of building something long term, where we start maybe first 6 months is just $5 or $10 an hour. But after 6 months, we get to the $20, $25, $30, $40. Work straight with the customers, get more professional team. Okay, and be very content with where we are, how we're going. That is what we're trying to seek. Yes, I will share the video. It will be there on the YouTube channel too. And we look forward into the next webinar, team. Based on how this is gone, maybe we'll have a follow-up session on next steps and what is the status on Thursday. We'll try and do one. All emails, please send it to learn@ITeLearn.com. Because right now, I know there's jobs at ITeLearn, but that may get a little confused. So I just want you to send it here. So once we get you there, then sure. Any very, very important questions that you feel are relevant for everyone else also you asked, couldn't answer, you could put it here. I may take 1 or 2 last questions, team, and end it. Do we have to remote machines for accessing license tools? Yes and no. Depending on the project, you may have to access virtual machines or servers or remote servers and machines. Yes. Sometimes because your applications are there, sometimes maybe your tools are there. Not because QTP is there or so on, but depending on the clients, how their structure is. How to bid for the project. So don't worry about the bidding thing on QA on it. Just put your regular $10, $15, $20 per hour thing there, whatever you're expecting. Once we shortlist, we'll take it offline. Then we can talk about it one-on-one. What happens with the bid is we put a project there, the 20 people will apply to it. We don't know if I have to trust the one with $3 an hour or the one with $18 an hour. So a lot of evaluation has to be done. So we'll do the evaluation and get you into the project. That's most important. Someone is aged 35 years and in India and wants to enter IT field. Can he or she? Yes, but be ready for a long haul. Core skills, a lot of unemployment, no project experience, at least 6 months of internship, training and internship is essential before they know if they can do it. If they have industry experience of working in corporate, a domain experience, for example, they worked in transportation or finance industry or manufacturing or marketing or CRM, so they can get domain experience as well. But technology experience and so on will take time. And we're not even talking about tools like SAP or Java programmer and so on. Could be Selenium, could be BA, could be DevOps. So many tools and technologies in today's market, right? Do we have the automation framework to write Selenium scripts, or we have to build it from scratch? A lot of it we have to build from scratch, team. We're already building some in the live project and a few areas. But then we have to also take AnyAUT pitch into the next stage. So that will be editing, customizing existing framework. A lot of development has been done behind the doors. We just need to get that into limelight now. All right, team. Is this only for JPACT members? No, I'm giving preference for JPACT members. It is their opportunity to take. note and ensure that they apply for it correctly. For others, please, I need to fill the position, so I cannot just rely on one group. There's a JPACT 7 member and wants to apply, interested in on-site job. So yes, Abdul and JPACT members, we will continue to try our ways for getting you a full-time opportunity depending on your location, a lot of other things. But meanwhile, what we will do is we will also look at how you can start working on some of the relevant projects. It'll give you a lot of experience. Florida, I do have opportunities in Tampa and so on. So, but we'll talk about it as we get going. I'm looking at work from home for now. We'll also look at the positions. If you are there in one of the client positions, then we can do a lot of things. We just have to collaborate. Let us work as a team. Let us work collectively together. I'm sure we can build a nice 25 to 30 people remote working QA team very quickly. Where you have to post the resume. Once I kind of give you the access to what we're doing, you'll start posting it. Maybe in that folder. We have a lot of these things. I arrange everything in Google Drive very nicely. My team will assist as we keep going. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate so many of you coming in, participating. With a large audience, achieving 95, 96% poll is a lot of things. So thank you for being attentive. It shows that everyone is keen on such a topic and how we can build our careers of working from home. Let's make this a reality. Look forward to you in the next steps. Take care then. Have a good rest of your evening or morning. Take care all of you. Bye now. Thanks team. Bye all.